This first slide is not really the beginning, but I might as well start with it. In 1492, Columbus sails from Spain in search of the East Indies. And he comes up to actually San Salvador, an island that's the next one over. And he encounters the Taino Indians. He calls them Tainos because that's what they call themselves. They're actually Guanahani, but Taino means good people. And they're just trying to explain who they are. We're the good people. And they actually help him be there, just like most explorers who show up in places and don't know how to be in this particular place. My work as an architect is contextual, so I'm very interested in the history, and I'm interested in the geology and the climate, and I'm interested in all the things that go on. So I approach my work that way. And what I'm looking at right here is actually Taino huts. This is a family hut, and that's the cacique's hut. That's the chief's hut. They lived in families of 1,000 to 2,000 people. They lived on Long Island. In fact, there's Columbus Monument, and there's sometimes little relics that are found here. They believed in zemis, which were like their gods. Two zemis, as far as I'm concerned, their most important ones, still live in Long Island today. The first is Yucan. It's the god of the sea and of the cassava. It's like where they got their food. The second one is Atabey, which is the god of fresh water. And these are two things that people essentially need here. If we could have gone back to that last slide, the cacique's house had a veranda, which is kind of interesting, because another thing that I'm very emphatic about is having shade. In fact, if people ask me what's the most important thing to have here as an architect, I'd say if you have shade and good ventilation, you're going to be comfortable, regardless of the weather, regardless of the climate. I like to do houses with verandas all around. What we're looking at here is some of the geology of the Bahamas. This is actually the caves in Hamilton. And this, by the way, the Bahamas is a carbonate platform. It is submerged carbonate platform with only about 30 meters above sea level. That's the part that has emerged. It goes all the way down to the Earth's mantle, which is, roughly 10 miles, something like that. And that's, it's actually more than that, but 10 miles is as far as they've drilled in search of oil, and it's all been calcium carbonate all the way down. This is kind of a unique environment. It's called a karstic environment. And one of the slides we're going to see is of the space shuttle over Long Island. And it didn't happen to be there. These are more of the caves in Hamilton. I encourage people to visit these. These are caused by seawater dissolving and eroding the rock. This rock, by the way, this calcium carbonate dissolves in rainwater. So you'll see all over this geography, you'll see kind of melted holes, rocks that are kind of deformed. It's all because of acid rain and melting calcium carbonate. There's a lot of other actions, diagenesis, the process of building rock, which is going on all the time in the Bahamas as well. Invertebrate animals and plants make calcium carbonate in the form of shells, fecal matter, all kinds of things. And the Bahamas is actually accreting, growing at a rate of 10 meters every 125,000 years. The disappointing information is that it's actually sinking at a faster rate. And so, the climate change is having a deleterious effect it will have on the Bahamas as it subsides into the Atlantic Ocean. Some more claims of Hamilton. Let me go on to some other forces that are contextual, what we're doing here. This is a photograph during Hurricane Irene, and that's Chimney Rock, and I believe I have another slide of that one. There's Chimney Rock as it normally is. That's the beginning of the hurricane, and I don't think I can go back, but that's about 30 feet high or something like that, maybe 40 feet high, and the waves were just over the top of it. Hurricanes are frequent visitors here, and so one of the things, to be in context is to deal with the necessities of being here. You have a purpose, an idea, and it's based on what is it to be comfortable living here, and how can you live here and survive comfortably. And one of the things, of course, is to deal with the climate, which is hurricanes and salt air and things of that nature. This is that picture of the space shuttle over Long Island. And you can see the Bahamas platform. It looks like the Bahamas Bank. It's the turquoise water. The astronauts actually framed that picture. They sought that picture because from space, the Bahamas is one of the most beautiful characteristics that you'll see from space. There's nowhere else that you're going to have this turquoise blue bank and this marine blue water. And it's just a gorgeous sight. And very exciting, and everybody who's here gets to experience that. The other aspects that I consider in my work are spirit, and the Bahamas offers some unique and marvelous things. For one thing, the night sky is incredible. There's a sense of infinity and a sense of eternity. Those are two godlike, and people start talking about God, they start getting mired in that. Oh, okay. And the other one is the sea, which offers this marvelous sense of mystery that can be discovered, by anybody who dives or swims or gets into the water. They have a great experience in the sea. So this is a little introduction to context. I could go on a lot more, but I think I've used up my breath.